I'm 14 years old, and Mrs. Myers is yelling at me from across the classroom. Courtney, get out of my classroom and go to the principal's office. I'm desperate for attention, and I know that when I get sent to the principal's office, all eyes are on me, and I secretly love it. What's the matter with you, Courtney? This is becoming a problem, Mr. Cook says, my principal. He turns to my mom. We're going to have to talk about what's next for Courtney. This isn't the place for her. I learned from a young age that I was too much energy, too much rage, too much to say, and too many questions. The last thing that I cared about or could focus on was school. My parents just got divorced. My dad's drinking too much. I feel so confused and alone. And I had my mind made up that I was different and didn't belong. I was rebellious, a fighter, and nobody could stop me. So while the other kids were getting ready for high school, I was getting sent 900 miles away to behavioral boarding school. The staff wakes me up before all the other girls in the dorm. I'm in the homeless phase of behavioral boarding school. No talking, eating outside, and then there was the cart. It's 6 a.m. I walk up and grab the mule cart's handles. I'm getting ready for a 2-hour shift of pulling this cart around a large gravel track. Stop the cart, Mandy says in an irritated voice. Courtney, you must keep your head forward. That's an extra lap. It's so cold and I'm so hungry. But we can't stop walking this cart until the staff thinks that we've done good enough. And those that don't oblige get sent to the focus room. A tiny, scary room with tall individual cubicles where you're sent for 8 hours a day to do your homework. And if at any point you turn around or get up without asking, your day doesn't count and you start over. I knew the focus room well, because when I got sent to boarding school, my rebellious ways did not stop. I spent a lot of time in that room, was physically restrained, and found my face being shoved into the dirt. This toughens me up, but I know that if I don't shape up, I am never getting out of here. So if I can't win them by fighting, I will win them over with my manipulative ways. I become an angel, the teacher's pet, and I stop getting in trouble. And in record time, I graduate from boarding school and am sent home where I'm free to be me. I turn back to drugs, I run away from home, and I get pregnant. It's 3 a.m. and I'm psycho-dialing my partner. He finally answers, and I hear the loud music in the background at the strip club. What are you doing? I'm coming to get you. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'm 18 years old, and I live with my partner, Miguel, our 14-month-old son, and my cousin, Alicia. I walk into Alicia's room, and I wake her up. Hey, keep an eye on Dominic. I'll be back. I pull up to the club, and there he is, stumbling out, wasted. I'm nervous, but I act cool. Take me to my dad's. I'm not staying with you, he says. I'm pissed off and driving faster so I can get him to his dad's house and out of this car. We pull up. See you tomorrow. I see his phone on the floor, and I start to shake. I want to get out of here as fast as I can because I want to know what's in that phone. I go to back up, and the door flings open. I see his fist, and it happens so fast. Blood dripping down my face, electric shocks running through my body. I think my nose is broken. And this wasn't the first time that he laid his hands on me, but it would be the last. Stop wrestling outside of the gym and save it for the mat, my jiu-jitsu instructor tells me. I love instigating wrestling matches with men. On the streets, in bars, at dinner. I was constantly bruised and putting myself in scary situations, all because I thought I was tougher than them. Breaking my hand wrestling Carlos in Puerto Rico, getting choked out from behind trying to armbar Julian in Florida, and getting picked up and slammed on the ground, knocking the wind out of me, trying to take Mike down. I'm 27 years old, and I'm completely disconnected from myself and my body, numbing out with alcohol, acting tough, and acting totally inappropriate as a mom. And I was starting to feel hopeless about my future for myself and my son, and had to admit that I was just becoming another teen mom statistic. In my darkest days, I come across a whole world of women on Instagram. Sex, intimacy, and desire coaches. And I judged them, but they had something that I wanted and were opening up my eyes to a whole world that I had never seen before. Softness, turn on, desire, love, and healing. And I wanted that. So I dove in. I told my first coach, I felt like a prisoner trapped in a cage since I was a young girl. I'm so embarrassed of my past. It's okay, babe. Your mess is your message. My mess is my message? Is she crazy? Becoming a mom 2 days after turning 17, ending up in abusive relationships, street fighting with men, not to mention blacking out more nights than I can keep track of, waking up ashamed and embarrassed by the way that I acted the night before, hiding the fact that I'm a mom. How could anybody want this mess? But I wanted to change, so I leaned into my coaches, their teachings, and allowed the process to awaken a new me. I walk up to Rafi at the overcrowded salsa dancing Latin club. Hey, you look like Romeo Santos. I just left his concert. I do? Who are you here with? Do you want to go to VIP? Claro que sí, me encantaría. I speak Spanish, so I knew he would love that. At the end of the night, he asked me to stay in town an extra day. I look at him. I so want to impress him, and I don't want to mess this up, and I want to step into the new me. I can't. I have to go back to be with my son. Oh, you have a son. Nice. I look at him and soften, the way my coaches said I would once I started telling the truth. And this feeling changed everything. Rafi and I started dating. He was unlike any man I had ever met or known in my entire life. I kept doing the work, telling the truth, and showing up for this new kind of love. We got married. We moved to Bali, and we started a life as a family. I created a support system of women around me. I took the powerful steps to get sober. And I spent time with this little girl that felt so angry, disappointed, and didn't feel love. I tell her that her feelings matter and that I'm here for her. I become a parent for her. And in the process of parenting her, I become a better parent for my son. I snap at my son. Dominic, your sleep is a problem and you are not ready to travel alone. He's 15 years old and he's staying up all night. I leave his room angry, triggered, and so annoyed. And in the past, I would have dug in and been right about how wrong his behavior was. But I know that this anger is not going to get me where I need to be. I take him out to breakfast the next morning, and I share with him the shame I'm feeling as a mom. I open up in a new way. I tell him that I get him and understand how my behavior has had an impact on him. And that the truth is that I'm not ready for him to travel alone. By the end of the conversation, we're reconnected in a new way and both tearing up. I am here on this stage sharing my message because I am a stand for all young mothers, that they let go of shame, find the powerful tools to create the life they want, and release any past that tells them otherwise. I know that my past does not define me or my future, and that I am worthy of starting over and creating a new beginning. So I am willing to stand here and share my mess and run the risk of looking bad and being judged. It is clear to me that my mess is my message.